Have you seen this? The aggressively maximalist horror movie where kawaii schoolgirls are eaten by furniture?
Welcome to Have You Seen This?
The world's only podcast about obscure, overlooked, and misbegotten media.
All discussions will be spoiler heavy.
You have been warned. And like the white scarf, that's very reminiscent of, what's her name? The woman who died that way. Jen, you would know who this is.
Isadora Duncan.
There you go.
Yeah, for
Isadora
people who don't
Duncan.
know, the dancer Isadora Duncan, she was a dancer from the early 20th century, and the way that she died was she was wearing a long scarf and she was riding in an open top car, and the scarf got tangled around the axle of the wheel and she broke her neck.
Jesus Christ.
So that's one for r/today I learned.
That's a yikes for me. That's a ghostly scarf story.
But there is a ghostly scarf in this movie as well, because at first her father's fiance kind of tries to offer it to her and is like, "Oh, let's be friends." And then Gorgeous has the expected kind of teenage reaction to the prospect of a new stepmother. Is like, "No, you're not my real mom," and she runs away.
Runs into her room and starts looking at a picture box of all of her mother's old pictures.
Yeah, and like a bunch of
freak
pictures
way.
of her with her dad, who is in the story is apparently a composer of soundtracks, and I guess he was away working on a Sergio Leone film, because he says to his daughter, "Leone said that my music was better than Morricone's," and I was like, "No, he didn't, you liar."
He's not going to say that.
I didn't even know who those references were, because I thought I had to rewind it because I thought he said Maricon.
Yeah, he thought that Leone was telling him like, "Oh, your music's better than Morricone," but he didn't hear Leone just muttering "Maricone" at him.
I just took my Sopranos hat off on that note.
Okay, so I have been pronouncing it incorrectly. That's why I got all those looks.
Yeah, Tim's been going around calling guys Ennio Morricone's, and they're just like, "What?"
No, I say my favorite composer is Morricone.
Tim. They're called them days. Okay.
Oh, right.
Come on. Wake up.
Yeah,
Give
Tim,
it
you
the
really
time.
gotta stop saying the F slur.
Yeah, I really
those
stepped into
people.
that one.
Which one, Fagioso? Okay, so let's really start to break down this movie. So from the get-go, you are introduced to the titular four girls, which is Gorgeous, the main character, Fantasy, the daydreamer girl, Kung Fu, who is obviously into the martial arts, and the butch one of the group, Mac, the fat one of the group, and I guess that makes five of them. There's actually Prof, the nerdy one. I think that's everyone. Oh,
Yeah,
and,
they're kind of-
Melody.
And
They're kind of like a Sailor Moon kind of group.
Well, apparently the thing with there being seven girls, I guess it's a kind of an auspicious thing in Japanese culture to have groups of seven. Probably the most famous example being Seven Samurai.
Yeah, this was made in 1977.
Oh shit! It's all numerology
Yeah, huh?
related. And the
Yes.
director also mentioned that
Can I-
during the war they would have work gangs of like seven guys who would, do I don't know, army type shit. I forget, but yeah, the number seven is kind of a key one here.
7 is a very significant number to me, and I think that most movies, music, a lot of my favorite things came out in years that are 7.
Well, I love 70s music, which is why
Well,
I actually really responded a lot to the music in this movie.
It's beautiful. It's
It's
just
so
like
different. That's
if you listen to it out of the context of the movie, you just be relaxed and just have a nice little time.
And I feel like that's a thing that the Japanese really excel at kind of like taking a Western thing and improving on it. Like, for example, the genre of city pop, where like they took
elements of American pop and they just perfected it to a fine tune, musically doing things that Americans weren't even capable of.
Because
music technology wise, they're just advanced.
Yeah, because certainly of course, in the Western world, you had your yacht rock, you had your Steely Dans and your Christopher Crosses, but like I feel like I haven't listened to a lot of city pop. I only became aware of the genre like pretty recently, but listening to it, it's like on this level of gloss that is it's
utter
level.
perfection as far as music comes.
Yeah, we should mention that there is a musical number in the movie.
There's several beautiful. There's a funk song that plays kind of like right when the deaths start happening that just blew me away. I was like, "What the fuck?" I've never.
Oh yeah,
this.
like it gets in because the score gets into like a kind of frenetic jazz feel. That's really cool.
Yeah,
but I mean, before they even leave, it's like there's like. It's like a head interlude or something. Like I don't know if I'm watching like the Monkeys film or like Yellow Submarine or Wizard of Oz.
Okay, yeah, I want to say that the it's very reminiscent of the Monkeys film. The girls, okay, so transitioning from the girls talk at school, then Gorgeous goes to her dad's, has the fight with the
about
stepmom.
The new mom. Yeah.
Then she goes back to school. Or she writes a letter to her aunt. She says, "Auntie, I'm coming with my friends.
I'm inviting myself and my 6 friends to your house. I hope you don't mind."
Yeah, because the summer school got canceled. Like Mr. Togo. Well, he's like, "Yeah, I can't do it. Sorry, girls." Torgo.
Mr. Torgo. Waiting for Torgo.
Yes.
And also, this guy is like supposed to watch them throughout this entire movie, but he never can make it on time. He's in a dune buggy. He's supposed to be the comic relief for the entire movie. He's
stopping to get noodles for bananas.
He gets his ass stuck in a fucking bucket in the first scene he's in. His ass spinning around like out of control. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, okay, I'm told that these interludes, or at least like the ramen shop interlude, are references to an incredibly successful series of films in Japan called the Tora-san series. It's about a guy who's like consistently unlucky in love and wears a hat, and that's about all I know about these movies. They made something like 18 movies with these guys.
Who gave the license for my life? Who gave
Jacques-san.
The license for my life out to these Japanese people? I feel like I've been cheated in time.
I feel like you must have a story about...
They took your story and they perfected it.
Jacques, I feel like you must have a story about getting your ass stuck in a bucket.
No, but I too have a story about getting my head stuck in the revolving door of FOA Schwartz in New York before it's closed.
They had to close it after that. They're like, we can't have this keep happening.
They're like, this is the last child's head that gets stuck in this fucking revolving door. We're gonna lose the company.
Sure enough.
Now that'll we'll hear that story in full in our next episode. But
right.
In the meantime, and I think I alluded to it at the beginning of the episode that there's so much in this movie which is somewhat opaque to a Western and certainly an American observer. Yes. The Tora-san thing definitely, because it's like, like who the fuck has heard of that shit in America? And like a lot of
if I watch more Dragon Ball Z, will I understand this movie better?
Well, I was gonna say, I'm not an anime person, but
Tim, I'm here to beat Tim up.
Tim's power level's over 9,000!
And he's unfindable in Northern California!
It's true. He
3 more episodes and we'll get to the fight.
He's broadcasting from a secret location. But as I was going to say...
Oh, I'm so sorry we had to cut you off there because the episode gets really good right after that. why don't you hop on over to patreon.com/have you seen this? And for just a couple of bucks every month, you get the rest of this episode, plus another bonus episode that all the plebes don't even have access to.
It gets really dirty.
We take it to a whole other level, but oh man, I wish I could play the rest of that episode for you.
Ooh, sorry.